Hello guys and welcome back to yet another Doctor Who Series 10 episode review by me, the Doc 11. So we need to talk about last night's episode. I know you're probably watching this the next morning, so hopefully you've seen it. If not, I will just put a spoiler warning out there for if you haven't seen it. Spoilers are contained in this video. Okay, so let's go through the episode. So the episode opens and the Doctor's doing this monologue about space, and kind of and then it and then like we see some people in space, and like the whole space thing to me, it reminds me of Gravity, like the film Gravity with Sandra Bullock, and like how they like the way it looked visually like Gravity. But yeah. And then this was what I thought was an absolute Easter egg. There was one bar on the oxygen thing, and the design of it looked like River Sonic. And obviously, when we last saw River Sonic, the Doctor only had one bar left, but he managed to save her. So that was kind of like a little Easter egg to me. If you guys comments below, and obviously, then we got what we've had mostly this season. The first victim's taken, and then the opening titles happen. To be fair, the writer of this episode, Jamie Matheson, something like that, through stories now. He did Flatline and Mummy on the Orient Express, and both of those two had the victim, then the opening titles. So I do like it when they do that, because it kind of gives it like a cliffhanger at the start to get you really hooked into it. And then when the Doctor's actually, now this is something we need to discuss. The Doctor's like drawing all those stars on the board whilst he's finishing off in his monologue, and then when we see it, he's drawn a skull. Now, for some reason, there's something about the 12th Doctor. It has a theme of skulls. For example, we see a lot of skulls in Hellbent. We see a lot of skulls in there because obviously they're all around. There are all those skulls. Obviously we saw the skull in this episode on the board. He's picked up skulls before. Obviously there were all those skulls in Smile episode 2. There just seems to be a theme of the 12th Doctor having skulls, and I don't know if it be a Dark Doctor or if because teaser for what's going to happen with his regeneration. Who knows? And then the Doctor says that his theme tune is distress calls, which I thought that was really funny, that he mentions having a theme tune, but the theme tune's really a distress call. I don't know, it was just something that really caught me out, and I was just like, oh, so basically the Doctor Who opening titles might as well be a distress call. Using that kind of what he said. And then he says something. He's having an argument with Nardole, and he says something like, Nardole says, you were following whose order. The Doctor says, whose orders were you following? And Nardole says, I was following yours. We have to guard the vault. And that made me think that, is the Doctor guarding the 13th Doctor in the vault? I don't think it's possible, since we find out next week who's in the vault. But if it was the 13th Doctor, it'd be funny as. We will discuss who could be in the vault during this episode, obviously. But the way he said it, it was like, did a future version of the Doctor tell him to guard the vault? Who knows? And who did he make the oath to? That is the question. And then Nardole does a space door sound effect, and I don't know if he's trying to reference the vault opening, because either way is either talking about the TARDIS or the vault opening, and I thought he was talking about the vault opening to remind him of where he needs to be, as he quotes. It sounds like the TARDIS humming, like his interpretation of the TARDIS humming. So could the vault doors lead to a TARDIS with the Master inside? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so there are zombies in space. Like, that's what the villains are, but they're actually called the suits because they're just corpses walking. The suits are doing all the work and all the movement. So they kind of have a mind of their own. But then the Doctor uses a Sonic to defeat one. And I thought, oh no, he's not just going to Sonic them all, is he? And then Nardole and Bill, because of everything that's happening, is like footsteps are getting closer. And when we see kind of like sort of the head pop on tea and like just the atmosphere, it reminds me of the Bastion Arada. I don't know if any of you guys got the same Bastion Arada vibe from this episode. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And then, oh my god, the Doctor broke his Sonic, which in a way that kind of made me happy. I do like the Sonic, but he broke it. And the writer of this episode, he always likes to get rid of cards, get rid of the Doctor can't use them to kind of help him. So the Doctor breaking his Sonic in this episode was a plus to me because I thought it was just going to be a Sonic for the game. But then when Sonic destroyed, I was like, that's so there. And then I just thought it was really cool how they put the suits on because it was like a sci-fi action scene, like with this really epic music as they as they put the suits on. And then Nardole, he knows the interface as Velma. Now, I don't know what this means and who Velma is. I'm not sure who the actress that played the voiceover was. But he said that he knew her, but she married an AI somewhere. So I thought that was quite funny. And then there are those blue people, and Bill kind of gets a bit like, oh, you're blue. And it's kind of like she's racist to him, and it's like not like that's not normal because normal people are racist to her. She doesn't mean to be though. She doesn't mean to be racist. She's never seen this kind before. And then Nardole references the husband of River Song because he says most of my friends, I've got a few friends that are blue. And obviously he was the same species as those people that had blue faces in the Husbands of River Song, which I thought was really cool. And they showed up in Doctor Who quite a few times. And I'm pretty sure that DeLorean, who was in Series 6, that Simon Fisher-Becker played, I'm pretty sure he was one of their species as well, but I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong about that. Oh my god. Bill is so close to death. Like, she practically died. And I was completely immersed in that scene there. I was like, oh my god. Bill could die here. Bill could die here. They're doing all these dramatic cuts like from an Alien trailer. And it's all cut into black. And then we come back and, you know, Nidole's like, look, the Doctor, he gave you his helmet, but he was exposed to the vacuum of space and he had to pay a price. And when we see him, we find out the Doctor's actually now blind, which I thought quite a good twist to the wasn't expecting it, but it was a very good twist because it removed something from the Doctor that he normally needs, but he still does fine without it. And And then he gives this big speech about how he saves people, and it just reminded me of the 10th Doctor's speech in The Voyage of the Damned, which I thought that was really cool. I don't know if that was an intention or what. And obviously, Bill is suit stopped working, and the Doctor has this cunning plan. So he just abandons her, and he lets her get turned into one of those things. And then the Doctor makes another joke about Twitter. Like, she says, like, oh, you've done something. And he was like, oh, I thought I was tweeting. Or something like that. Which I thought was funny. But I think it was just a joke about how he did do it on purpose. But he wants to get away with it. And then eventually they all kind of break into all these to all the suits. They all break in, and the Doctor, he tells them that it's expensive if they take their lives, because obviously he's routed their suits up to the cooling system. And then that's when the Doctor saves Bill, and they swap their oxygen tanks to save them. Well, I thought that was really cool. And yeah, so the Doctor saves Bill, brings him back, and then she hugs him, which the Doctor said when he first met Clara that he's not a hugging person, but yet he completely embraced it. But I just thought it was funny that Nardole got I just thought it was funny that Nardole he kind of went in for the group hug, but he was on the outside just to show that this is the Doctor and his companion, and Nardole's just a tag along. And then we cut back to the TARDIS, and Nardole's fixing the Doctor's blindness with something. And then when we finally go to a wide shot, we see his eyes are all clear and fine again. And then there's a bit of speech, can't remember what happens there. And then they quickly see the Doctor sat in the TARDIS. Bill says some stuff, and he's like, well, it's capitalism in space. And, you know, in about 100 years, humanity finds another way to try and destroy itself. And then she goes, Nardo comes out of the TARDIS, and then obviously this whole scene, the Doctor's got shades on and he's looking down, and I was like, oh, the Doctor's got sonic glasses back. But I think they're just normal sunglasses, but I don't know. There could be sonic glasses because obviously he's broken his sonic screwdriver. And then when the Doctor takes them off, right at the end, we get this massive cliffhanger when he reveals that he's still blind. Yes, that was awesome. Okay, so that's the episode. Overall, I'd rate the episode 8 out of 10. They were really good. It was really good. I loved every moment of it. I was completely immersed. It was a good pacing to the story. It wasn't too fast. It wasn't slow. I just wish there weren't those bits where it got a bit boring. But that was just because they were stood talking. But either way, it was such a good episode. It was such a good episode that I really did enjoy it, and I am looking forward to next week's episode. Now, speaking of next week's episode, let's discuss that next time trailer at the end of the episode. So we're in a library, and things are happening. There's a library there. There's all sorts. And then there are there is the library reminds me of the one from Silence of the Library, which I thought was really cool. And then we see someone pull like a TARDIS blue diary out, and obviously that's the same diary that River Song has. But we did learn of Doctor Who that the Doctor has the exact same diary. So that's either the Doctor's diary or it's Bill's diary. And the Doctor's still blind, which I think is really cool. The Pope, and obviously he lives in Rome, and there are some old century writings. Now there's a piece of paper, and it says Veritas on. Now Veritas actually in old Roman mythology, Veritas means truth or motto. Now the truth obviously extends into the fact that the Doctor's lying to all his friends, as Nardole quotes, about his blindness. But the Doctor's also lied a lot throughout his life, and the fact he's now blind, he's trying to take on this villain, and I believe they're called the Monks. And it's this episode's going to feature the ones with the ones that look like the Bastion Arana people. But if you notice, they didn't show up in the next time trailer because I'm pretty sure it's a 2-part series episode, but I'm not sure. I just think it's really cool. And then I know that Missy is back in next week's episode, which I think is really cool because we haven't seen Missy for a long time. We do need to see Missy back. I have a feeling that she's going to be at the end of the episode when they open the vault, and you're going to see Missy. And it's going to, inside the vault, it's going to be Missy's TARDIS. Now the thing is, Nardole doesn't know that the Doctor can get in there. Like, Nardole doesn't know that those vault doors have actually opened. Which I thought was really cool. But I am interested to find out who the Doctor made an oath to and who is guarding the vault. So I can't wait for next week's episode. But overall, next week's episode looks really good. This week's episode was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was one of the best episodes so far. So that's all I can really say for now. I've been the Doc 11th. You've been watching my Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 5, Oxygen review. Please leave a like down below if you enjoyed. Leave a comment on your theories and thoughts on the episode. And I will see you next week when I review Extremis on Sunday morning at 7:30. Just before I go, if you want any extra kind of Doctor Who bonus videos or DC bonus videos, because Wonder Woman's coming out in 3 weeks, if you want anything kind of like that, please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you do want to see my Injustice gameplay, it will be starting next Wednesday night. So gaming channel, and you go watch all my other videos, and you subscribe and turn the notifications on because Injustice is coming next week. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I've been the Doc 11th. I'll leave the links in the description below. Bye for now, guys. Goodbye.